That was Sarah Huckabee Sanders speaking tonight. Didn't seem too upset by the results. Let's get some reaction now from President Clinton's former White House spokesman, Bob Weiner, who is with me. Also joining us from New York is Joe Borelli, the Republican commentator and co-chair of Donald Trump's New York campaign. Welcome to you both. Bob Weiner, if I could start with you. Sort of fairly inconclusive set of results, if you like.
Yeah.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders talking there about bipartisanship, working together. Do you think there's any chance of that happening?
Well, Adam, I took the hat off about a half hour ago at the Democratic National Committee party when some of the governorships got lost. It's looking pretty bad right now for Gillum and the other gal.
In Florida, yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but in the House, it still does look like there's a solid shot, and we're saying 2/3 chance now of winning the House. And Sarah is actually right. We didn't get the slam dunk that we wanted from the Democrats, but we did have a solid win when you have Shalala and you have Wexton in Northern Virginia flipping seats, and it's looking like we'll get the flips we need. But on the agenda items, she is full of it, because Trump never went with infrastructure to begin with when he should have, and he had a bipartisan opportunity. He never went with bipartisanship on health care. He just tried to completely clean it out. He never went with bipartisanship on immigration when Schumer and Pelosi went to him and had a deal and they struck it. But then right away, Cotton and Stephen Miller an hour later went into the office and he changed his mind. So this is a guy who we did an op-ed on infrastructure. It said, "Mr. President, where's your infrastructure plan?" A week later, he did an infrastructure week. But that was it. He had a little verbal babble about it. So what Jim Clyburn told me, who is the Democratic assistant leader, is that the Republicans simply don't want to pay for it. They want to purely give tax breaks to the rich.
Okay, well, let's put that to Mr. Borelli. Mr. Borelli, do you see any chance of bipartisanship of Democrats and Republicans working together after what looks like a fairly inconclusive set of midterms?
You know, I think bipartisanship is a great idea and concept, but what you're going to have if the Democrats do take over the House is a very tenuous majority. And I think, unfortunately, you're going to see 2 more years of a perpetual campaign for the House of Representatives in 2020. I don't think that's necessarily a great thing for advancing the president's agenda. I don't think that's a great thing for keeping the American economy moving. However, I'm not ready to count the chickens before the eggs are hatched, because I can go back to 2016 and go through a blooper reel of folks like me on television calling this race for Hillary Clinton around this time of night. These races are a lot closer than anyone thought they were going to be. People thought Ron DeSantis had no chance. People thought Rick Scott had no chance in Florida. And every time I seem to refresh my iPhone, it seems like the lead has pulled away slightly from the Democrats. There's a lot of problems for the House of Representatives for Republicans, no doubt. But there are some still good opportunities to potentially hold on to things.
I've got to say, Fox News Channel, speaking of projections, is currently projecting that the Democrats will gain control of the House of Representatives. Is that how you see it, Mr. Borelli?
Well, I mean, that certainly takes a little bit of the wind out of our sails. But, you know, look, this is still not the blue wave that we were promised. This is not the blue wave that we were expecting. This is not the blue wave that was going to be a rebuke of the president's agenda or the president's policies. In a lot of battleground states, I mean, I just looked at Michigan. Obviously, the results are very early. But we have a first-time candidate, John James, who's actually doing quite well. Again, not ready to raise the white flag tonight. It's still early. There's still opportunities. And you know, they did say, I think Hillary Clinton was going to be president with an 86 or 90% chance. So, again, Fox News can call it, but I'm holding out hope.
I mean, Bob Weiner, I know you don't like doing this, but are you likely to agree with Fox News that...
Well, I remember Karl Rove a few years ago. You and I were up on the roof, and I remember him making his predictions and standing, and then Fox had to rebuke him because he just wouldn't give up. So I think we're there in the House. And that's a big deal. That is a huge deal, because that means, Adam, that the investigations are going forward. That means that Schiff and Maxine Waters, and it means Nadler in judiciary and the taxes and the Russia investigation. Now we will actually have some oversight. There has been none. It's been nothing but a puppet Congress. That's over.
Well, we're just hearing another one of our Sky 50 in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania 17. Conor Lamb, we're calling to win that. What do you make of that?
Well, he keeps the seat now. We expected that.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing to say.
Well, oh, you mean he's overturned it from where it was? Yeah. Well, that's a reversal. So it's a reversal.
Well, we'll get more details on that in a moment.